G'day guys, iRide here, out for a cruise with my wife. Is heading to a seaside town by the name of Port Sorell for some lunch, and we thought we'd take the bikes because it's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful spot. Wife hasn't been for a ride for a week or so she was pretty keen.
Sir, we are very sorry. The doctors have analyzed your scans. Their verdict is unanimous. Your infliction is very serious. It is inoperable. There is only one chance of being cured.
Eat, sleep, ride, repeat. Eat, sleep, ride, repeat.
While we're out riding, just thought I'd answer the challenge. DeathsStalkerRVT threw down the gauntlet with the Game of Fours challenge. So I just thought I'd answer that, and it'll also help you get to know your friendly iRide a little bit better. So the first four is foods I like. So yeah, I'll eat anything. As far as favourite foods go, is beer classified a food? Probably not. Enough calories in it, but it's probably not technically a food. So steak with pepper sauce, hot chips, sushi, and I'd have to say sort of black bean and fried rice or something like that. 4 drinks. I like tea, a lot of tea, because I don't drink coffee, so I drink tea as my preferred hot drink. Apple cider, something not too sweet, sort of a draft. Beer, I like pretty clean beers, something like a pure blonde or a pilsner. And bourbon, particularly something like Jack Daniels with soda or lemonade, or just straight. 4 places I've been. I haven't travelled the world extensively, and I'm not a rich bloke, and most of my spare change, like you guys, I sink into motorcycles. So I haven't travelled extensively across the globe, but I love my country, Australia, so I have travelled fairly extensively around it, particularly 4-wheel drive touring. So 4 favourite places I've been: outback Australia, can't beat it. I've been lucky enough to travel a little bit with work, and I've been to New Zealand a few times. The Rozzers. Yeah, I've been to New Zealand a few times, both North and South Island. I really liked Christchurch, and I really liked Auckland, Dunedin, the west coast of New Zealand. Magic spot, absolutely magic. I'd love to take my bike there and become iRide New Zealand for a couple of weeks. I was lucky enough to get tied up in an animal documentary that filmed scavengers in Africa, And I went to South Africa, particularly Kruger National Park and some of the game reserves in that area. Absolutely blew my mind. And I also went to Namibia, through the deserts, through the area that the San Bushmen live, and then along the Skeleton Coast. And we spent a few days watching jackals predate seals on the Skeleton Coast. Mind-blowing trip. 4 places I've lived. I grew up in Devonport, and then when I was about 8 we moved out to Port Sorell, so this area, and we lived on a few acres. It was mostly bush, had a lot of wildlife, and that's what helped create my interest in animals, native animals and their conservation. Had devils and a few quails and a few sort of more obscure species like bettongs on the property. From there I moved to Hobart, and I did university in Hobart. Hobart is the capital city of Tasmania. It's got about 250,000 people. Great place, absolutely loved it. Best years of my life. Not that I can remember some of them, if you catch my meaning. A few too many with brewskis and partying, but great place. It's sort of a fantastic mix of old world, new world. Some amazing bars in some historic buildings on the dock and stuff. Great place. And from there I moved back to the northwest coast for work, and I moved into Ulverston, and both Devonport and Ulverston I've done videos on if you wanted to check them out. Love that place too. Currently living in Sheffield. Don't love it, but it is pretty close to work. So the final part of the challenge was to call out 4 people so that they can answer the Game of Fours challenge. So this one's pretty easy. My 4 friends on YouTube, we all started at much the same time. Some great people. So it's going to be Starkey75. You've been called up for Game of Fours, mate. Starkey's from the UK. It'll be Lazyyborider, also from the UK. LBR, step up buddy, Game of Fours on your Apache Sinus, which is a pretty sweet looking bike, mate. The next one will be whoamissnelly. whoamissnelly. From Newcastle. Rides a sport bike. Like me, she rides a lot with her partner. He's got a Gixxer, I believe. She does some great vlogs. Check her out. whoamissnelly. And 4th and final is your friendly Illawarra motovlogger, Phatcrusier. Phatcrusier and I have become pretty good friends, or I hope we're pretty good friends, through the YouTubes. Seems like an awesome bloke. He's got a sweet as XVS 650. I've ridden quite a few XVS 650s in my cruiser days. So at Phatcrusier, you've been called up Game of Fours. So hopefully guys, I did the Game of Fours justice. Being the dickhead I am, I forgot one of the important Game 4 challenges. It's the 4 names I go by. I don't really have a nickname as such. So it's my birth name. And that's a 3-syllable name. And so it gets shortened down to 1 syllable. And that's what I go by mainly. Unless you're my mum and I'm in trouble. And then she likes to use my full name and my middle name. This is where we're going to have lunch. iRide is a name I go by online. iRide Tasmania. And then from there, the only other nickname I've ever had was a Frodo. And I make hobbits look tall. And so after the movie came out, my work colleagues decided that for their forevermore, I was going to be called Frodo or Frodes. So guys, hopefully that helps you get to know iRide a bit better. And this is where we're going to have lunch and coffee. So, iRide out.